Hi everyone! So season 3 is about to start, and preparing for that season I was wondering what are we gonna do with our builds. Now there have been a lot of changes in this patch. I've been unpacking them in a few videos already lately, producing some guides, etc. But there's one line in particular that I want to talk about in this video, which is this here. I think this is a quite overlooked one, in fact. So here it reads, fixed an issue where effects that increased max life by a percentage, such as Elixir of Fortitude, did not account for certain other max life bonuses, such as granted by an affix on equipment. And that is actually a really interesting thing to put in those patch notes down here in the bug fixes at the very bottom of this, pages and pages of stuff that they actually put into this patch. And there was no comment about it anywhere that I could find. Now, the thing is that, first of all, you need to understand how maximum life is calculated in Diablo 4. And then you will understand how crazy this could potentially be. And we're gonna find out very soon what is actually true. So, when you are level 100, you have a base life of 7,959. This is true for all classes, no matter what. If you unequip everything, you have no specs, paragons, etc. This is what you got. You can try it out right now. You take this and then you start multiplying this value with your percent increased maximum life bonuses. For example, here from paragons. So you have here plus 4% maximum life, plus 2% maximum life, etc. And every single one of those nodes is a multiplier to your life. So basically the way this goes is it's like times 1.02, and then we have, this is like one node and then two nodes, 3 nodes, and then for the bigger ones we do 1.04 and so on. And this is basically how you start multiplying your life more and more and more. So in typical builds, depending a bit on the class, depending a bit on the setup and how offensive or defensive you want to go, you easily end up with something like 20 to something like 40 or even 50% maximum life bonuses. That's quite a bit. So this life value will easily go up to let's say 12, 13, 14, 15k or so, just from paragons basically. And then you have stuff like rubies, for example. So you can definitely reach 15k plus or so, roughly doubling your base life with all those multiplicative increases. Now, the thing is that the maximum life bonuses from your items, like the flat values that you can have on a ring, for example, are actually not affected by those multiplicative effects. So you see this here, for example, this ring has plus 1310 maximum life. That's the maximum value you can roll. And this, at the end of this whole calculation here, let's say we're at 15.2k, we just add plus 1310. So this is not affected by the multiplicative bonuses. So this is how Diablo 4 has worked since the launch. And well, now we have this patch notes there with the maximum life. And that is definitely something kind of weird, because I've never actually found an interaction where this was actually true in any way. Like the affixes on gear always are flat bonuses. The only exception I can think of right now is the Doombringer. So I actually have this in this setup as well. Doombringer actually has a percent increased maximum life effect. That is extremely powerful and the main reason to wear this item. So it could be that maybe this one is bugged or something. I did not actually have a chance to try this really now, but what I really think might happen is that those flat bonuses on your items may be multiplied now by all those bonuses you have. And that would potentially give us a lot of extra life suddenly. Because basically what happens is, and instead of the 7,959 life, now you first add, the extra life from your ring, and then, the extra life from the Shaco, that's like 2,292 if you have one of these. As a barb, you can also have the grandfather here, that's 4,584 life. So just with one roll and those two uber uniques, for example, you would already double your previous base life. And now those might get multiplied. So again, now you can do 41% from the Doombringer. You can do rubies that are 4% each. And then we can do some of the Paragon nodes, and then we can do some of the small Paragon nodes. And you see where this is going. This is actually pretty crazy stuff. And this is obviously not even optimized around maximum life bonuses. So it might actually happen that all those maximum life bonuses that at least I consider to be relatively powerful previously already, especially on stuff like the rings and the helms, where you usually don't have a very large range of stats that you want to roll on your builds. This might actually be an auto include in basically any build now, and potentially buff stuff like rubies even further. Personally, I just put rubies into pretty much every single build in my armor slots anyway, because maximum life is at the very minimum competitive with stuff like sapphires that give you a damage reduction while fortified. And if this is actually true, what I'm just describing, right now we don't have to patch, well, we're gonna have a lot of life in Season 3. And that is if that is actually happening like this, that is an insane buff to player power, in my opinion. Because not only do you get a lot more tanky for, well, relatively easy high-end content, but also this buffs the overpower builds back to, well, pretty much almost exactly what I had before, to be honest. So overpower builds are supposed to go down a little bit. Overpower has been extremely powerful in Season 2, and I would definitely agree it was overtuned, and they nerfed those percent bonuses into half of what it was. So previously you got 2% for, you know, each 1% of your base life. Yeah, it's 45, now it's 1%, etc. But well, if both your maximum life and your fortified life as consequently goes up by a significant amount by having those kind of bonuses, then we're gonna see if overpower builds definitely thriving again. We already have like a bunch of builds already in S tier, like Hoda Barb, etc. And this is not even considering that this change might occur. And well, if you actually have Barbs running around with 50k life or something like that, then they're gonna be overpowering pretty hard, trust me. So yeah, this is still a little bit of speculation of what is actually going to happen until the patch goes live, and you can actually check this in game, because those patch notes, as always, are pretty vague about these kind of things. But as I mentioned, I don't even know why this patch notes exist, and this is the only reasonable explanation I got. And well, looking at our tier list here, for example, the endgame build tier list that we have just released recently here on Maxroll, a lot of Barb stuff is up there, and a lot of Barb stuff turns out to be overpower builds. So this is definitely looking like a Barb season through and through, if you ask me. So yeah, in the end, we'll have to, you know, check and see what is actually going to be the case if those flat life bonuses are getting multiplied. But if they do, it will definitely become a lot more valuable. So I talked about, for example, having the rows on the rings or the helms. Those are definitely the slots where I like putting them myself, at least, because it's just a lot of extra defense for a very small cost most of the time. And then you have like chest and pants where you can also roll life, but generally I feel like other stats are just more important. You have to hit certain percent armor requirements. You usually want to get a bit of damage reduction because you don't have that many slots of it sometimes. So I usually prioritize this over flat life. But if this is actually going to be a multiplicative bonus, then, well, even flat life roll on the chest or on the pants is going to be quite competitive, if not even better for some builds, especially those overpower builds that actually scale the damage through life as well. So this is just something I want to get out there. I think it's going to be pretty wild, and let's see what happens. Just a little, you know, question mark, I guess, that we'll uncover very soon. Let me know what you think. I wish you good luck in the Season 3, and I'll see you guys next time.